What a lovely day!
We have a new reveal for Necromunda Ash Wastes, and you know what? I'm quite excited about this, but it's excitement that comes with a caveat, right? Because this is some proper Mad Max stuff. Oh, look at it, it's so good. This is the Cargo-8 Ridgehauler, and it screams Mad Max. It just absolutely screams it to me. Also, this is a great Orc vehicle. They've done sterling work here. The Orcs are going to absolutely love this, as I think will the Genestealer cults as well. It is just all round quite a cool looking vehicle. Very rugged, very industrial, very like... It looks like you could just cover it in scrap and it would work for multiple other purposes. And they've also called it a land train, which does make it... I'm not going to say that's baiting, necessarily, but I would say in the incarnation that I believe you're going to be able to buy this, I wouldn't necessarily call it a land train as it starts out. Now, you'll undoubtedly be able to make it a land train, I'm not disputing that, because you get this main section with the gunners, the Munitorum thingies, what are they called? What the hell, I've lost the ability to think. The containers, that's it. My god, the brain freeze was real there. You've got the cool, like, shipping container things on the back, and I do like the lads with the guns sticking out of them. That's a nice touch. The helmets are quality. Do like the helmets on these lads. And you've also got a trailer for it as well. So the trailer, you can have two different things on it. You can have the container, you can have a bunch of other stuff. Clearly, it looks like you're going to be able to take that bit, at least, and, like, hook it on just as many times as you like. You could make a massive, long land train out of this, which is quality. I like that a lot. I really like that idea. I like the fact that this could be like a modular vehicle that you can just extend endlessly. Now, of course, to extend it endlessly, it means you'll have to buy a load of them, which is probably where that idea falls down, because it's not going to be cheap, I think it's fair to say. It's safe to assume, right? It's safe to assume it's not going to be cheap. I mean, actually, as well, important thing here, it does have the extra wheel on one. I believe that is basically exactly the same, like, chassis, though. It's the same thing. It's not like two different ones. You just got additional wheels that you can slap onto it to make it more suitable for, like, heavier stuff. Be interesting to see if you could, like, magnetize that, for instance, so that you could switch between the two if you wanted. Because it does look like you don't get two trailers. You get the one trailer, it seems. One trailer with options, which, to be honest, it's not too bad. This looks like it's going to be a fairly sizable vehicle. It's not going to be small and piddly and weak. It's actually going to be a decent size. I do also like the fact that there is like capacity on the rear one to have guns again. So you can have the same setup where you've got lads manning the rear container. That's cool. The fact that there aren't any on this particular one suggests to me that you're probably going to need more of those lads. I don't know whether that's something that they'd sell separately, maybe, in order to allow you to fill out your land train with as many gunners as you want. But there's quite a few things about this that we just kind of have to wait and see. Like, there's not a huge amount of, like... It's clearly going to be this, but how much extra stuff and how it all fits together is an unknown currently. But it does make me suspicious that we currently don't have two fellas on those rear guns right now. In terms of the overall detail, I really like it. Like, you could totally use this for orc stuff. You could absolutely turn it into some sort of scrappy Mad Max style battle wagon, or even just a new truck. It'll make a decent new truck. Same thing with Genestealer cults. I foresee a lot of fun kit bashing coming out of this. And overall, it's got a really cool style. It's very rugged, very industrial. It works super well. The only things that, like, that worry me. Not worry me. That's probably a bit much. It's not, ruining my day or anything, but the price is going to be a big thing here, because as it stands, it is a cool vehicle in that you have the cab, which can also haul stuff, and a trailer, which can also haul stuff. That's cool and that's fun, but if it's massively expensive, the cost and therefore ability to turn this into a full-on land train style thing is one thing that concerns me. The other thing is, I really want to see how vehicles are going to work in Ash Waste, because the preview that we've had of the box doesn't really suggest that there's all that much space for making, like, a long Ridgehauler Cargo 8. Like, it feels like it feels like it's not like a big board. It's not a huge area of play. And as such, if you do decide to go full on and just pile a load of time into making one of these that's got like 3 trailers on the end of it, which would be really cool, is that going to fit? Is that going to work? Is that going to be something that is just too big, too sizable to fit on the board? Or is that fine? Is that going to be accommodated for in some way? Like, I really feel like we need to see the actual rules to go along with this stuff to decide whether a full-on land train is viable or not. I'm assuming it is. Like, I'd like it to be, because otherwise, what's the point? Like, you're just saying to people, oh yeah, you can just build massive long ones of these, that's great. But if you can't use them, then for a lot of people, the whole point of doing it suddenly disappears. But if there is a way of doing it, then that's fine. I'd love to know how it works, like how it's going to fit onto that area of play. Like, it's not going to get too massive and take up the entirety of the board, and you're just not going to be able to use it effectively. If it's just going to be a total waste of time to do it, if you actually intend on using it to play the game. These are things that I would love to know now, as opposed to when it eventually comes out. But the fact is, just as a base model, I think this is decent. It's got some cool design cues in there. Like, the shape of the cab on the front is kind of reminiscent of the hovercraft the Admech get, which I quite like. It's obviously a lot more... It's like a lot rougher, a lot more kind of rough around the edges, more industrial than that, but there is like a hint of that going on there, which I do quite like. The way that it's set up with the gun on one side and the driver on the other being protected by that roll cage, I also really like. I love the fact that there's no protection for the gunner. That is actually a really cool thing to me. It just kind of speaks of that being something of a less valuable position. It's like, yeah, you can get anyone to hold the gun, but the lad who can drive it, he's actually worth protecting. I like that a lot. Whether that was an actual cue, a design cue, or whether that is just how it's ended up, I don't really mind either way, because it's kind of a little story that's introduced itself. And actually, I'm pretty sure, yeah, if you just don't, it will be a case of not putting the cab on, won't it? Because you've got a little like divot in the clamp on the trailer, whereas where the cab is on the front one, there's like a hinge attached to it. So I'm assuming that it is just a case of you can take that front bit on or off, assuming you magnetise it. Otherwise, it'll be a case of building the cab and actually gluing it all in. But there's got to be a way to just have 2 trailers on the second buy of this thing. There's got to be, right? Here's hoping. Anyway, what do you think of this? Is it Mad Max enough for you? Are your orcs going to suddenly have a bunch of vehicles that previously didn't have access to? Because frankly, that's an extreme possibility as well. To be honest, I feel like Ash Wastes has got the potential to just be a kit-bashing paradise, but we'll have to wait and see what else they reveal. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for any games you can use to support the channel if you'd like. There's also one for Noble Knight Games in the US. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.